We're at Skyline, right at Water Place Park. Look at this beautiful place. It's a beautiful night. It's a beautiful facility, and it's full of beautiful people here tonight. All my favorite peeps are gonna be here. So we're raising money to keep this adaptive gym up and running forever. It's never gonna go away. We built the model, and it's gonna stay for good. And we're gonna replicate the same model for other YMCAs throughout the country. I already talked to a lot of people to have their directors call me to give them the recipe for an adaptive gym that'll help everybody in their area.
Hey, you guys have fun.
Rising style.
I found him. I found him.
Jack's brother?
Yeah, Alan.
All right, Alan. I never
God.
Give my kiss.
Nice to see
How are
you.
you?
Gary, wish you the best. Your foundation, you're doing it, man.
Oh, this is our tape? Gary, you're number one, baby. The stuff you do for people, you're making history. We're very proud of you, Gary. Unreal. Let me tell you what he's doing.
I want to thank you all for coming here tonight to be a part of this third round fundraiser for the Gary Tiger Balletto Foundation. Thank you so much for being a part of this tonight. I see a lot of familiar faces here from the Cranston, they call it the Cranston Cinema. If you're of a certain age, you know what I'm talking about. The Cranston Theater. And then last year here at the beautiful Skyline at Water Place Park. And we're back again for round 3. So thank you so much for being a part of this once again. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is John DeLuca. I'm the primary news anchor at ABC6 in Providence. It is my true honor to be here tonight to help out Gary and Christina and the foundation. I've gotten to know Gary over the last few years doing stories with him on the news, and it has really touched me and changed how I look at life, honestly. A lot of news is happening with the foundation. This week, for those of you who don't know, Gary's foundation was recognized by the Providence Business News for a nonprofit, most innovative foundation. So that is great news. We know what a great job Gary's been doing with Christina and the board. But now he's being recognized, and the foundation is being recognized outside of this group of people, which is huge when it comes to fundraising, not just in selling tickets or events like this, but in terms of getting the philanthropic organizations involved, because now they recognize it and say, oh, there's a lot of credibility with this organization. There's a lot of nonprofits out there. We all know that. Gary's foundation gets attention like this, that's huge. The other massive story this year happened this summer at the Y in Cranston. Gary and the foundation, as you know, raised a lot of money for special, really fancy, expensive equipment that helps people who have some form of paralysis. That gym in Cranston at the Y opened up this summer. I was there, many of you were there as well, and that has changed lives. Literally changed lives. Gary didn't need to do that. He has access to the equipment, he has money to burn, he was able to put that stuff at his house if he wanted to, but he didn't. He wanted to share it with others. I had the pleasure of having dinner with Gary and Christina this week at their home in Cranston, and over dinner we're chatting, and I said, so how's it been going with the gym? So they told me this story. I found it incredibly emotional. Mom came in with her daughter. Daughter has paralysis. Legs were a bluish tint because they don't get used. The circulation is little to none. She starts working on this equipment. Within a short time after that, the leg color starts to turn back to skin color. The girl starts crying. The mom starts crying. Everyone around that gets emotional. Gary and Christina telling me I start getting choked up at the table. I start thinking about it, now I start getting choked up at the table. I tell you right now, that's one example of what you folks have contributed to, what he has done, what Christina has done, what the foundation has done. You folks are helping people you'll probably never meet. Yes, we all know Gary, but there are folks using that Y in Cranston you'll never meet and know, but believe me when I tell you this, you are changing lives and you are really making a difference. So everybody here tonight, a round of applause for you as well for being a part of this. Because it matters. A lot of times you give money to a charity, as far as you know, it gets thrown on a pile. We know where the money is going in this situation here. It's going right to the foundation to help the folks at that Y, whether it's equipment or personnel or whatever else Gary needs in the future. But thank you very much for being a part of that tonight. Our first speaker tonight, I know him as Colonel O'Donnell, but he's no longer the Colonel anymore, but I still call him that because that was my dealings with him for the most part in the news media. It is my pleasure to introduce you to the CEO of the Greater Providence Y, Stephen O'Donnell.
Thank you, John. I'm just here on behalf of what Tiger does at the Cranston Y. John mentioned that what he does is transformative. And so the plan going forward is if there's 70,000 people that have the same issues or similar issues that Gary does, and he becomes that poster boy, so to speak, to let everybody else know they can come and work out in a gym that costs the same as everybody else, no more, no less. And then that's why we have events like this. So I've told Gary, as long as I'm at the Greater Providence Y, which will be for a while, I will commit to help him everywhere I can and make this bigger than just Cranston. That's where you come in, people like I come in. So when I left the job I had, now I can make money. I couldn't do that much before. So we can donate to people like Tiger that make lives better. We see Kathy, and there's a lot of different people that need adaptive equipment, not just for the physical piece, it's the psychological piece. What you watch when you walk into the Cranston Y is someone like Tiger working out like an animal, and I mean that as much respectful as a former athlete, but other people watching, admiring what he's doing. And it opens the door for another 70,000 people to see if he can do it, they can do it. So for the grace of God, go we. We can go around and do what we do, and people getting ill and injured and all that. Please look out for a guy like him. So we're committed, and each year I'll donate to Tiger, and I also just committed to joining his board also to help him move this along. Thank you.
And I know he's too humble to admit it, but his influence at the Y in Cranston really made things move along, if you know what I mean. And if you've been there, they had a room, it was off to the side, it wasn't being used, and Gary's like, put my stuff in there, we can have, it worked out because of Steve's efforts and of course Gary harassing him nonstop, which he's very good at. I know Gary's pride and joy, he gets emotional many times because he loves his family so much, obviously, but he loves to hear his daughter sing. I know we do too. Ladies and gentlemen, my pleasure to introduce to you Hailey Balletto. Hailey.
Focus, no one seems to notice. God bless. us. Neither one of us could want to love. Can it gain control of us? But it can't complete. Both of us losing trust harder than I thought it was. Broken, hopeless, searching for a purpose. Frozen, unfocused, but no one seems to notice. Helpless, selfish, there must be something I missed. Desperate, reckless, there's no getting through this. Na 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 From what I see, it's never the real thing. Could have been me, 'cause I wasn't kneeling. Hopeless to love, it's not really working. 'Cause love only hurts, it's not even worth it. With both of us losing trust harder than I thought it was. Broken, hopeless, searching for a purpose. Frozen, unfocused, but no one seems to notice. Helpless, selfish, there must be something I miss. Desperate, reckless, there's no getting through this. Na 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 na
You made it.
Guys, dig it.
So we're here at Cafe International, back on Beverages with Brad. This is Gary Balletto's second appearance. Probably the highlight of his career, being back on Beverages with Brad for a second time. You ready to go get some coffee?
Yeah, I'm thirsty.
Let's go, man. Since nobody else watched it, I was watching the first episode you did of Beverages with Brad. On that episode, you were talking about how your foundation raised money for a bike for you to put in the YMCA, for you to use,
Right.
for other people to use, and you were all excited about it. And you said, my goal is to have a fully adaptive gym put
Wow.
into the YMCA. And that was our first episode. Here we are back, and you did it.
Wow.
You built your fully adaptive gym at the YMCA.
Yeah, I didn't realize that's what we talked about then. There is a need for an adaptive gym. But the cost of using this gym was $100 an hour. And there was a 2-hour minimum. So if you booked a workout on any given day, it's gonna cost you $200.
Right, so I could afford to work out once every 6 months if I went there.
I think it's much needed for our state. By the way, we're about 2% of our population have some form of paralysis,
That's a lot of people.
which I would have never thought. I see many fellow wheelchair users that have some form of paralysis that don't have a place to go, and I always ask them when I see them, like, what do you do for exercise? And I tell them about the FES bike at the YMCA, and believe it or not, when I did get that bike, the first bike at the YMCA, it filled up, I think, in a matter of the first month, to where we had to dedicate a full-time person just to run the bike, just to run the people using the bike. Because the bike's, it's very time-consuming setting yourself up because you're using electrical stimulation. You have to put pads. You know, we have 12 pads on every workout, and you put them on different parts of your legs, whether it be the lower leg or the upper leg or even the butt. Nobody can afford, even if somebody could afford $200,
It's a lot of money.
nobody wants to pay $200
Every time you work out.
to get the same
Yeah.
benefit of an able-bodied person that can go to any gym in the
Yeah.
state for about $30 a month.
Right.
So it just wasn't fair, and that's when I said, you know something, I'm gonna build something. It's gonna cost them just the cost of a YMCA gym membership.
Right.
So not only will people have a place to get expert staffing is the biggest thing about why this is so great.
Mm-hmm.
and I have all the state-of-the-art, best, efficient pieces of equipment. But to be in a place where I can go with my family, I can go with my kids, I can go with my girlfriend.
Right, like they can work
I
out,
can
you're
go with
working
my
out.
friend. Yeah, so you're in an environment of a regular gym, so you're not feeling secluded. That was my vision, and to see that vision come to life. To the grand opening was July 23rd, which you were there, and it didn't really hit me how beneficial this place was gonna be until a couple days later. I'm in the gym, and there's just one person after the next coming in and thanking me for this priceless gift.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. Is it the only one in the country? It's gotta be. At a YMCA.
It's the only adaptive gym in Rhode Island, but I would bet it's the only affordable adaptive gym in the country.
That's what I mean,
And
yeah.
once this model is fine-tuned, which I think is gonna take a good year to get all the kinks out, with scheduling and what machines are we scheduling and what machines that we don't need a schedule for, how much each machine's being used. We're logging everything.
Yeah.
And we're also taking stats on any improvements through our clients. My goal after the first couple of years is to get this business up and running so it covers itself. So we get enough members to where it covers that staff person, you know, or 2 staff people. And I have a great model and a system that's you know, business plan that's gonna work. Just like somebody would build a business, buy a business, build it up, and then sell it.
Right. And now it can just run. Yeah.
Right. But the only difference is I won't be making a profit. I'll just be making better lives for people.
Maybe helping people, which is more important anyways.
I feel confident that this duplicate business plan will fit in other facilities. After my injury, I was sent to Spaulding Rehab in Boston. And they had this FES bike that I didn't realize at the time was probably the best piece of equipment for somebody with this type of injury. So I have been using that machine since day one, which most people don't have that opportunity. After they first get hurt, they wouldn't know where to go and what to use. And I handpicked 10 pieces of, I would say, the most economical equipment for people with injuries like mine.
Well, that's the tilt table that's handled by Nico. He's the director of the adaptive gym.
It can go from 0 degrees all the way up to 90 degrees. And the concept is to get people to be able to stand who can't stand, who don't stand enough. Once they get up to a certain degree that they like, the vibration plate will turn on, and that is meant to excite your nervous system.
Like, I got people that have spasms that does the bike. Now they want to come do this first because it relieves the spasm and they could do a whole smooth session of the bike.
So we have a new step, which is basically a recumbent elliptical, and it's great because it's big dynamic movement. And any neurological disease or paralysis, dynamic movement is a big thing.
The equipment was quite expensive, but the staffing is even more expensive. To have the expert staffing is, you know, what makes the whole gym flow so beautifully.
It fulfills me as a person to see somebody smile and see the look on their face once they're able to move a certain limb. So I ask them, so how are you feeling? Are you seeing any changes? And they'll tell you, oh, I eat this leg, I can move it, I can feel hot, cold here, this area.
Some people have started using the Galileo plate. Some people say that they're starting to feel more in their legs, feel more in their back, or places where they've never felt before.
The vibration, oh my God, it's excellent. Like today when I was on it, I felt the vibration all in my butt cheeks.
The bike has helped me maintain the muscle in my legs, because without that they would atrophy a lot more.
Since I've been using them, it adds tone to muscle, strengthens the muscle.
Even my physical therapist has noticed the difference. My girls that take care of me have noticed a real big difference. My sensation has really increased.
Legs are stronger. Yeah, it's moving up big time. Especially this machine. I haven't stood up in a while. Like a year.
Without this gym, honestly, I'd probably be a lot weaker than where I am right now. I'd probably be more atrophied and wouldn't be able to be as independent as I am now.
I'd be in a lot worse place than I am. This is a good place.
In bed. Doing exercises, but exercise in bed, no less.
This gym means a lot to me, actually. I can be involved with a lot of people with similar injuries to me.
It means a lot. I mean, you could come here and feel like a normal person.
This gym is a lifeline. Without this being here, I have to travel to go to another one, and they don't have what this place has.
Freedom, in a way. I get to get out and exercise again. The exercise is big, makes you feel good, your whole body.
Ladies and gentlemen, my pleasure to introduce to you Gary Tiger Balletto.
Thanks, guys. What a beautiful night. What a beautiful place. With all you beautiful people. All my favorite people. Thank you, everybody, for helping me with this. Without your help, I can't do what I'm doing and help who I'm helping. I don't have to say a lot because the video showed everything. I'm not going to tell some individual stories. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry anymore. I'm done crying. I'm crying anymore. But nobody really understands, what the things these people feel, except for the people using the machines themselves. Our goal and mission now is to keep this adaptive gym up and running. We raised over $100,000 and then bought all the equipment we need for now until we get over 100 members. Then we got to do something different. But now, in order to keep this gym up and running, we need to cover the staff. And by the way, we have a new guy, Nico, who is a neurological fitness specialist and made a big difference in this gym. Thank you, Nico. Guillermo's here with us. He's been there since day one. It's been about 4 years, actually. And he is the master. But it's not easy raising money. It's like the thing I hate worse is to ask anybody for anything and ask for donations. But I know the people I ask, they want to help and they understand what I'm doing, and it's a beautiful thing. And if we don't raise enough money tonight, don't worry, because I'm going to do it again. And if that next plan don't work, I'm going to do it again. And if that don't work, I'm going to do it again. They say a goal without a plan is just a wish. We're not gonna wish. They don't like to say say wish. Hey, come over here. Come over here. I want everybody to see what you're wearing tonight. Amen. Do you have anything to say?
I'm proud of my dad.
scientist in me, I just get the head.
Little Gary wants to talk.
He's not in the mood. His neck hurts. Whatever it takes, I will never let this gym stop running. We also want to make a blueprint and we want to model this gym so that other YMCAs or other gyms could use this model throughout the country, because there's injured people all over the country with paralysis, and a lot of them don't have places to exercise. And they'll never have the sexiest legs in the world like me. Thank you, Jesse, on the camera here, for making that beautiful video that everybody just watched. Say hi to Jesse, everybody. I want to thank the YMCA. I want to thank Steve O'Donnell. You've been a rock since the beginning. When I told you this is what I wanted to do, and you had my back, and I'm happy to have you with me through this journey. Andrea, is Andrea? Where's Andrea? I saw her. Andrea, thank you. Don't worry, we're gonna get the money. Don't you worry. I don't quit, I don't lose. Happy birthday, Andrew Ronaldo. Happy birthday. Oh, there you are. He's 46 years old. Woo, Andrew! And thank you for your donation, Andrew. Andrew owned Wines and More on Sakanasa Road, the biggest liquor store in Rhode Island. The biggest and baddest. I want to thank Mike Moda. He's not here. He's not here. So I'm going to thank Scott instead. Thank you, Scott. All right, now I want to say, come over here, Mike. Come over here. Good. All right. Thank you. Thank you for letting me use this beautiful place. He takes really good care of me, by the way. And one other thing I want to tell you is, Mike called me a couple months ago, and he said, "Do you like The Sopranos?" He said, "I have two questions." He says, "Do you have a 501c3? And do you like The Sopranos?" And I said, yes and yes. So, there's another gentleman here, Steve. How do I say Steve's last name? There he is.
How do you say your last name?
Steve Torioti. So Steve bought a Harley Davidson. Not bought, he won a raffle 10 years ago. And this was, you guys, I didn't watch The Sopranos. Don't be mad at me. I like The Sopranos, but I didn't really watch it every day because I was training at the time. But Steve won a raffle, and he had this bike for many years, and Mike Moda is doing the Sopranos Con. And Steve, reached out to him, and basically, they have a motorcycle, Harley Davidson, signed by all the members of the Sopranos. I think 40 members, and they're gonna raffle it off at the Sopranos Con in New Jersey in November. And Steve said he wanted to donate the proceeds to the Gary Tiger Balletto Foundation. I want to thank John DeLuca for being there with me from the first fundraiser And you say really sweet things, way better than me. And I really appreciate having you, and I'm very happy to have you on the board now as well. And I can't thank you enough, John. I want to thank Aaron Rome. Where is he? Hey, Aaron! Aaron Rome's a grant writer. He's like the master. Amazing. Paul Griffin. Paul Griffin said, Gary, one day he said, Gary, I found the guy. Call Aaron Rome. Aaron Rome wrote a grant for us last year for $45,000, and that put us halfway what we needed to get the equipment we have. And we wouldn't have that without Aaron Rome. Aaron Rome is a board member now of the Tiger Balletto Foundation. And next is Kathy Andriozzi. Kathy just put on that beautiful event, and I think a lot of you guys saw me dancing under the stars on social media there. I don't know, it was on the news too, I think. But Kathy put that beautiful event together. Kathy has a daughter who has a brain injury, who uses the gym. Kathy raised money on her own, through her own foundation, through the YMCA, and she raised enough money to buy how many FES bikes? 3 FES bikes. And they're at the Kent County Y, South County Y, and maybe somewhere else, another one. Coming to a Y near you. That's a good one. But thank you, Kathy. I asked her to be, asked if she'd be interested in being on the board, and she said yes. So now you see the team we're building here. Thank you, Kathy. I love you. I want to thank Charlene DeLuca. Charlene's been with me for, this is 3 years now with the foundation. She is the event planner, coordinator, and she kind of does it all. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you, darling. I love you too. And I want to thank Mr. Paul Griffin. Griff. Griff and I were talking about this after my injury, not long after the injury, maybe like after I came home, and I went to physical therapy for a while, and I said, Griff, I need to go to the gym, but there's not a lot I can do there because they don't have the right equipment. And that's when I come up with this idea, and that's when it all started. And I forget what words were said. Griff, do you remember? My memory is not as good as yours. But Griff was my father's very good friend. They worked together, and they hung in the bar together. And my father's looking down on us now. Thank you for being one of my closest friends. Griff, I love you.
I want to thank Nick Minacchio, who was also on the board. Nick is like a genius with a lot of things. And I really appreciate you. And he gives us insight on everything. I just love having you around, Nick. And I would also like to thank Jimmy Mancuso in the house. And his wife Valerie, and I want to wish them a happy anniversary. Sorry I messed up the anniversary 2 years in a row. They had plans, but they both said, we're not gonna miss your event, Gary. Valerie bought me a beautiful tiger picture today, and I'm gonna put it in my bedroom. Thank you, Valerie. I love you guys. I want to thank my mom for everything. I love you so much, Mommy. I love you more than Dion and Lonnie put together. Hey, Lonnie showed up. Hi, dude.
I'm short, you can't see me.
I had the best brothers. The best. I love them so much. Even though I beat Dion up all his life, he deserved it. I always gonna remind you of that part. I love you, Dee, and I love you, Lonnie. And I am the luckiest dad in the world. I have the three best kids, three superstars. Three superstars. That's pretty much sums it up. Gary is going to be in the UFC very soon, maybe his next fight. And I have the beautifulest grandbaby ever. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't get enough of this baby. Hailey, thank you for singing that beautiful song for me. Hailey, that was an original song, by the way, that she wrote and recorded. And I'm so proud of her. Hailey just finished up an album, actually. I think she has 8 songs. And it's going to be released 2 days. 2 weeks, 2 weeks, guys. So you're gonna be able to hear all her new music. I've been working on this for about a year, I think. And Hailey also runs an eyelash business. She's an eyelash installer. Somebody asked me, what is Hailey doing? I said, she's an eyelash installer. I don't know what they call it. But Hailey's been working so hard. She just bought a beautiful car, beautiful BMW car. And, she bought it all on her own, and I'm so very proud of her for it. And Aiden, I need you to do one thing for me. Aiden, can you we're at home a couple weeks ago, and I said it. I was a gymnast, guys. Not bragging, but I was good. But I used to do this thing where I could sit like Indian style, and then I could do a handstand just from that position, go right into a handstand. Huh? Yeah, so I told him about it. I couldn't show him, obviously. And he did it his first try. Well, not his first try, but he did it within that same day. Hailey, can you do a handstand like I showed you, please? One time. Don't take your shirt off. Don't take your shirt off. It's so quick to take your shirt off to soften muscles. Yeah! Do what you gotta do. Lay there. Lay there. He's got no way. He's a Bigfoot now. Yeah! Woo! Thank you. That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Where you going? Good job,
And last but not least, Christina, I gotta thank you for everything. Last time I was there talking about her, I went like this. She thought it was the cutest thing. We were at Dunkin' Donuts a few months ago, and we're at the drive-thru, and I ordered something, and the guy at the window says, what did your daughter want? I'm like, guy, she's Asian. So Christina comes back with, he's not my dad, he's my daddy. He's not that much younger than me. But she really is the best at everything. And I really appreciate you, and I love you. Mr. Speaker's in the house. Nick Mattiello is here. Nick, I thank you for everything you've done for me so far. I thank you for your donation last year, again this year, and for supporting everything I've done with this foundation. Nick, would you want to say a few words today?
Thank you, Gary. It's a real pleasure for me to be here. Actually, I'm at a speakers conference up there, and I think they're waiting for me, but this is so important, and Gary's such a good friend. The Gary Tiger Balletto Foundation does so much good. I was just at the YMCA with Gary and a lot of you for the ribbon cutting. You see the wonderful work that this foundation is doing. So last year I was honored to make a contribution, and this year I'm making a $2,000 contribution to the foundation to help support all the good work that Gary and all of you are doing. Gary, you've got a beautiful family, Christina, everybody, you're all wonderful. I'm so honored that you would take a minute and invite me into your great function. Good luck, good work. We'll always be there to support you. And I always say, Gary's the toughest guy I know with the biggest, softest heart.
Cough it up, cough it up. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I really appreciate it. The next thing is, Billy Beecher, can you come up here? Billy! Hey guys, Billy Vigeant just beat cancer. I'm so happy to hear that, Billy. I'm so happy for you, and I love you. Billy's put together a bus ride, Billy and Buster, a bus ride to the Sopranos con in November, and he wants to tell you about that. That's coming up.
First of all, can everybody quiet down for 1 minute? Hello? Everybody listen up for a minute. Hello?
All right.
All right. First of all, in this room, you know, you go through life. I just beat cancer, thank God. I just was cancer-free 3 weeks ago. And that was a hell of a ride. You're winter, you gotta meet the maker. You don't know what's gonna happen in your life. And you really realize what really counts in life. And what the real deal is, as I get to learn to meet the maker, is the times you share and the memories you make with the people you care and love about most. And I have to tell you, Gary, it's an honor to be your friend. Because you exemplify what life is all about. Some people just go through life and exist. Through all his trials and tribulations, I took his admiration as far as his spirit of living, because he could have quit many times. And just to know the inner fight, because people see us on the outside. It's like when I was fighting cancer. People say, wow, you look good. I said, yeah, thank you so much, but it's on the inside, it's not on the outside. But I have to tell you, you meet a lot of people in life. You ain't gonna meet many people like Gary Balletto. You ain't doing it. I had the privilege of doing a TV show. I worked with a lot of legends of the world of sports. You know, you can get knocked down 10, 20 times, but it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up to fight. And this kid just will not quit. And I'm proud to be your friend, buddy. Because let me tell you, you exemplified, you inspired me as I was going through my fight. And I just want to thank you as a friend to a friend for doing that. Thank you so much. So, please, he's a gift. He really is. Because in life, you know, you'll see life is very short. Sometimes it comes at you fast. I got hit out of nowhere. I was going for knee replacements in my legs. Next thing I knew, fortunately, I was on my own doctor. I had to tell them, as far as I wanted an MRI in my pancreas, make a long story short, they didn't want to do it. I forced them to do it, come back. They said, listen, you got spots on your liver. And New Year's Eve last year, they told me I had cancer. So, that fast, life changes. So, let's enjoy ourselves. And when you talk about tonight, I appreciate being here, but I want to publicly just let you know how much I care for you as a friend and how much I respect you. Okay? And what he has done for other people, that's what it's all about. It's giving back. Because your imprint in life is not in money, because money we spend. But it's the times we share, the people we touch along the road of life. That lasts forever, long after we're here. So Gary, I commend you on your foundation and I commend you on your efforts. Because, let me tell you, kid, you got a heart bigger than your body, and that's how I respect you to death for. So, that's what life is all about. You're gonna see the invisible to accomplish the impossible. And there's only 3 types of people in life, people, that I learned. There's only 3 types of people, and you learn to come across them. There's people that watch things happen, people that make things happen, and then there's people that wondered, what the fuck happened? Okay? So with that being said, let me tell you something. This kid makes it happen. And I'm proud of your friends. God bless, kid.
Let's hear it one more time for Gary Balletto.
Good night. Good night. Good night.